You got a smile that makes the sun rise. You make it shine. But I can see that you don't realize, and that's what made me fall in love. 'Cause you got style, the way your body makes my heart beat sound. It's amazing all the time. You are the only thing I need in life. Oh, I want you. Can't you see? I want you. I believe, 'cause I want you. Here with me, I'm gonna go crazy. I'm gonna go crazy for love. I look at you and know it's alright. You read my mind, but I can see that you don't realize, and that's what made me fall in love. 'Cause you got style, the way your body makes my heart beat sound. It's amazing all the time. You are the only thing I need in life. Oh, I want you. Can't you see? I want you. I believe, 'cause I want you. Here with me, I'm gonna go crazy. I'm gonna go crazy for love. I don't need another love. Yeah. We do this every day. We do this love for life. You got a smile that makes the sun rise. You make it shine. But I can see that you don't realize, and that's what made me fall in love.
Hello and welcome back. We are here with another episode of our Legacy Challenge, and we are here with Adriel. As we know, he has become a teenager, and we are going to be following in his life. This is going to be a day with him where we are going to get to know him a little bit better, and we are going to be following in the journey with him and his life now that he has become a teenager. We are still obviously going to be seeing the rest of the family and spending time with them, but our predominant goal here is to get to know Adriel a little bit better. We want to build some relationships with him at school and things of that nature, so we will be following him to high school and building on some relationships for him so that he can hopefully be a all-around good built-up sim, so that he can carry on this legacy, because as we know, he is our Gen 2 heir. So currently right now everyone is just sitting around the table. They are just getting themselves something to eat and things of that nature, and it is pretty early in the morning, so they are just taking care of some of their needs. They're having a little bit of a conversation with each other and telling each other about what they have for plans for the day, and we absolutely love that. I don't think, not quite sure if they have school today. No, it's a Sunday. So they don't have school today. They are going to be off from school today, so they are going to just be hanging around the house and dealing with some skill building and dealing with maybe some gardening and things of that nature. So we will be seeing the children dealing with some skill building and obviously carrying on with each other, and we'll be spending a lot of time with Adriel. I am going to maybe see if we can get him chatting on the computer, and maybe he can make some friends in a chat room or things like that, because I do want him building some relationships outside of the family. He's currently not in school because it's the weekend, so we do want him trying to build some relationships outside of the family until he goes into school. Obviously, once he gets into school, we're going to be able to make some friends with some other teens, and hopefully we'll be able to build on some relationships that way. If there are any people that are in the neighborhood, we'll go ahead and meet them, but we are just going to be building on his relationships and his skills and things of that nature in this episode, so that's going to be really great. But he's just spending some time right now talking to his mom, and she's asking him how he enjoyed his birthday, and he's letting her know that it was actually pretty great. You know, she made all of his favorites as far as meals, his cake, and she tried to make it a really special day for him. and he felt really, really loved and really blessed. She obviously can't do that for the quads. She can't make them each their own meal, and she can't make them each their own cake because, well, there's 4 of them. But with Adriel, it is a little bit easier on her because it is just him. And so he gets a little bit of special treatment when it's his birthday. And I think the other kids maybe are a little bit jealous of that because they, have to share their birthday with the others. And Adriel doesn't have to share his with anyone. And so he does get a little bit special treatment. Not only that, but they know that he's the heir. And so that obviously gets him a little bit of special treatment in Haley's eyes. And she is a little bit closer with him, I think, because of that. She also, though, is a little bit harder on him because of that. She pushes him. She makes him, really push himself at school. She expects more of him. But the kids don't see it that way. They see him as her favorite child, and they don't realize that she's harder on him. They don't realize that she has higher expectations of him. All they really see is that he's the favorite. So even though they have a good relationship with their older brother Adriel, I think there is a little bit of jealousy, a little bit of envy in the younger siblings when it comes to Adriel because they don't understand why he gets to be the favorite. So I think as they age and as the quads become teens, we're going to see a little bit of sibling rivalry between them. Maybe right now with them still being young, we're not going to see a whole lot of that, but I do think as the quads become teenagers, we are going to see a little bit of that rivalry come out because they're going to kind of feel like they're pushed to the side and they're second best, even though I don't think Haley really intends for it to be coming across like that, but that's kind of how they take it and kind of how they feel. So he's currently just in the chat room. He is trying to get to know some people. He's hoping that he's going to meet some, people in and around the community and someone that he can bond with and that he can build some relationships with. I'm not exactly sure if he's going to meet any teens in the area, but we are just hoping that he'll meet someone at the very least. And Haley is just upstairs doing a little bit of painting. As you can see, she is, she's been really, really painting away. She obviously started one and then stopped and started another. So I'm just going to have her finish the figure painting and then she can go over and she can finish the Mona Lisa. Because obviously we don't want a million half-started paintings and not finished paintings because that doesn't bring us any money. And we desperately need her finishing the paintings that she started so that we can make money. But I am just going to go ahead and get the other kids going into building a little bit of skill. So we'll get them taking care of their needs or building skills, whatever it is that they need to do. And as you can see, we have neighbors that are just kind of popping into the house randomly. And they are, sadly, they just let themselves in and they kind of hang out and do whatever it is that they want to do. So there are neighbors that mill about in the area and just kind of help themselves to our house. I'm not quite sure how we're going to get them to stop doing that, but we will figure that out eventually. Maybe I'll have to end up locking the door to keep them from just coming in and helping themselves to our house whenever they feel like it. Because honestly, it's not just the adults that do it. They're bringing their infants with them and everything. And then we have just a million infants crawling around the house and it's just a little bit too much. So I'm going to go ahead and get Mitchell to come over here and he's going to start doing a little bit of cooking. That way we have some leftovers in the house that the family can munch on if they start to get a little bit hungry. And obviously he is in the cooking realm as far as his career goes, so it does give him a little bit of practice as far as his skill building as well. And we'll go ahead and we're just going to let Adriel go to the washroom, and then I think maybe I'm going to send him out doing a little bit of a jog. I do want him to be, like I said, well-rounded, and so I want him to be fit. I want him to like fitness and I want him to stay healthy. So I am going to send him out for a little bit of a jog. I mean, he's skinny as a rail, but I do want him going ahead and just staying fit and being really healthy and liking, that fitness aspect of his life. So I'm going to send him out for a little bit of a jog. As you can see, there are lots of neighbors that have gathered here in the cul-de-sac. So I may actually send him over and let him introduce himself to some of these ladies, and maybe some of them will be teens, and if that's the case, that'll be fantastic because he doesn't actually know any teens right now, and it would be really nice if he could get to know some teens. If he could meet some teens before we actually go to school, and then he'll know someone when he actually gets to school. It looks like this lady here is a teen. Evie is a teen. So he's just going to go ahead and kind of get to know her a little bit. They're going to spend some time getting to know one another. This is what I'm talking about. Do you see all these infants just kind of hanging out in the cul-de-sac? Like their mom just comes and drops them off and they just get left here. I'm not sure what the deal is with that. Like, no one's taking care of this child. This child is green, sitting on this cul-de-sac. It's probably hungry. He's gonna try to cheer her up. She seems to be in a pretty sad mood, and so he's like, "Are you okay?" And she's like, "I'm just in a really down mood." And he's like, "I'm really sorry to hear that." He's like, "It's a lovely day out today. I really wish that you weren't in such a poor mood." So he's gonna go ahead and he's gonna see if he can get introduced to this little one. He kind of feels bad because the baby is green. And, you know, being that he is the oldest of so many siblings, I think he obviously, look, another baby has turned up. Oh my God. I think he obviously is very family oriented. I think he would, you know, be really concerned with the fact that there are all these babies just laying around and their parents aren't out here and they're looking like they're being neglected. And I think that Adriel would be like, what's going on? Like, they need their diapers changed, they need to be fed. And I think he would really be concerned about that. And so he's trying to get to know them because, you know, he can't interact with these babies unless he actually knows them. So he has to get introduced to them. And so he's trying to get introduced to these little ones so he can actually go ahead and interact with these children, and maybe he can clean them up and possibly, you know, feed them. It doesn't look like he can feed them, but maybe he can clean them up. No, he can't do that either. Okay, well, he tried. He's like, "I'm so sorry, little one. I can't take care of you at all." He feels so bad because he feels like this baby's being neglected, but he is spending some time getting to know Evie, and he is, oh, he can clean her up. Okay, that's great. He's like, this baby's still green. I've cleaned this baby, and this baby is still green. So he really just feels bad about the whole situation. But he's also trying to take the time to get to know Evie, because if we're being honest, you know, he thinks she's kind of a cute girl, and I don't know anyone in this area, you know, that's my age. You know, he's spent a lot of time going to public school, yes, but obviously he hasn't ever been to the high school, and he's going to be going to the high school soon. And so he does need to obviously get to know some of the teens in the area, and this is the first teen he's come across. And so he's getting to know her, and he's hoping that she's going to be going to his school, because then obviously at least he'll know one person. And so he's like asking her where she goes to school, and she's telling him, you know, she goes to the local high school, and he's like, "Oh, great, you know, I'm about to start there." And she's like, "Oh, that'll be great." And he's like, "Yeah, maybe we'll have some classes together." And she's like, "Yeah, maybe we will." And he's like, "I hope that I see you there, and, you know, that'll be really nice, because, you know, I obviously am just starting, and, you know, it's really kind of scary sometimes when you're starting a new place." And she's like, "Yeah." She's like, "I understand." And so they're just having this nice little conversation, and he's just getting to know her, and he's like, "It was really, really nice getting to know you, and I really, you know, had a good time getting to know you, but I do think I need to head on home now." And she's like, "Okay, it was really nice to meet you." So he's going to go ahead, he's going to head on home. He is starting to feel a little bit tired, so we're going to head him on to the house so that he can go and maybe get himself a little bit of rest. But he's feeling really good about the conversation. He obviously, you know, was concerned about all of these little ones. But he feels good about meeting Evie. He feels good about the conversation they had. He's thinking to himself, "I'm going to go to school. I'm going to have somebody at least that I know. So I'll look for her tomorrow when I go to school, and this is going to be great." And so he's feeling really pumped about that. He's feeling really confident. He's thinking, you know, this is going to go great. But he's going to go ahead and get himself a little bit of a nap. And as you can see, the whole family is just kind of taking care of some things here around the house. Haley's outside here taking care of the garden, which is in desperate need of her love, because it needs, you know, spraying for bugs and probably needs watered if we're being honest. Everyone else is still taking care of their needs. After she's done with the garden, I'm going to have her come up here and sell these paintings that she has finished painting finally. So we will be able to make a little bit of money off of that. We do have close to 15,000 simoleons, which is fantastic. So now that we're not having to buy those statues and we're not having to buy those paintings, because we have everything that we need for Haley's, you know, milestones to have been met for this goal, we are now just making money. Obviously we do have bills that we have to pay, but we're we're just making profit now, which is really, really nice because, you know, we're going to need money for Adriel to live on and for him to be able to raise his family. So he's going to be able to inherit this money when it's time for him. It does look like he thinks Evie is attractive, so that's great. So, I mean, you know, maybe something can come of their relationship. Maybe they will end up liking each other and they could maybe, you know, build on that since he does find her attractive. So, I'm just going to go ahead and get Haley into the washroom here. She's just going to take herself a little bit of a bath. Everyone is starting to kind of wind down for the evening and get themselves ready for bed because it is starting to get a little bit late. And obviously they need getting rest because they do all have school and, well, I think Mitchell might have work tomorrow. Haley, as we know, works from home. She does paintings and things of that nature and tends to the house. She is very domestic. But all the children will have school tomorrow, so they do need to start thinking about getting themselves headed off to bed. I just want them taking care of their needs, making sure that they've gone to the washroom and got themselves something to eat and things of that nature before we head them off to bed for the night. And of course, you know, we're going to have to, you know, disallow the neighbors, I think, because honestly, I can't get them to leave. They just continually are in the house and they don't want to leave. Even if I tell them, like, you need to go away, they leave out the front door and then they come in the garage. And it's just like, no, I'm asking you to, like, leave our house, not exit the front and come in the back. So we're going to go ahead and disallow our neighbors so that they can't just randomly come in. And we're going to go get Adriel to go on in there and get himself something to eat here. Because now that he's woken from his nap, he's feeling quite hungry. As you can see, he's woken up still pretty feeling confident. Like he's really had himself a decent day. He's feeling really, really good. He had himself a little bit of a jog. He went and he met some people that are new. Well, he met Evie. And, you know, he's overall feeling really, really good. Like he had a nice conversation with his mom this morning. And he's just like, today has been really nice. And he's like, tomorrow's going to be even better. I'm starting, you know, a new school. I, you know, think I'm going to do really well there. I did really well in grade school. And so I think, you know, I'm going to start off on the right foot here in my high school. And I'm starting out already going to be able to know somebody. And so he's just really feeling confident. He's feeling like he's on top of the world, and I love that for him. You know, he's feeling really attracted to Evie, and he's like, I don't know if, you know, anything's gonna come of that, but maybe something could. And so he's feeling good, and we love that for him. So I'm not saying that Evie is the, you know, end all be all for him. Maybe they could date and it doesn't work out, or maybe they could end up being lovebirds and she ends up being the one he spends his life with. You never can tell how things are going to turn out, but he's going to go ahead and try his hand at a little bit of cooking here. As we know, we do want him building his skills and being well-rounded, and since he is going to be our Gen 2 legacy person, we do want him knowing how to cook. So I am getting him just making a little bit of grilled cheese and tomato soup, and he is just practicing up some cooking here, and he has learned how to cook, so we love that for him. So as you can see, his brother's just having a little bit of a chat with him while he does some cooking, which is fantastic. And he has reached cooking level 3. I mean, that was fast. Wow. So instantly his brother grabs a plate. He's like, thanks so much for cooking that. I was starving, so that was amazing. I'm really grateful. So he's going to go and take care of some of his needs, and then maybe we'll head him off to bed. Everyone is going to head off to bed. It's getting really late. It's about 9 o'clock around there. And so we're going to get everyone fed up, and then they're going to hit the hay. And then in the morning, everyone's going to go ahead and head off to school. So go ahead, boys, and get your tummies filled up, and then head yourselves off to bed. Tessia, you need to go to the washroom, and then you can go to the bed. And everyone's just going to get themselves a nice little bit of shut-eye. As you can see, Mitchell's currently at work right now. So when he comes home from work, then we'll probably put him on into bed as well. But everyone's going to get themselves a little bit of shut-eye, and then we will see you in the morning. Adriel's like, yeah, good night. He's laughing in his sleep. He's really had himself a good day, which I absolutely love. And it's made him quite happy. He must be dreaming about really good things. So everyone's just going to go ahead and turn in for the evening, and I will see you in the morning when they wake. Okay, so it is about midnight, and as you can see, we do have up, I think this is Isaiah, and he is just needing to go to the washroom really, really bad, and he is feeling quite hungry, so I am just going to go ahead and let him go to the washroom, and then he needs to grab himself a bite to eat. Unfortunately, the downstairs bathroom is busted up, and so he has to walk all the way upstairs to go to the washroom. So we are going to have to repair the downstairs bathroom so that that can be used. It does look like everyone's starting to kind of wake up. I was not hoping that they would wake up quite so early, but they are all starting to kind of wake up. They're all needing to go to the washroom. Some of them are needing baths, but they are feeling pretty rested, and so they're all starting to get up. It does look like Adriel has gotten himself up. He is cleaning up a little bit of trash here from the outside. So I'm just going to let him clean up, and then we'll send him off to the washroom as well. He needs to go to the washroom and get himself a bath. I do want to make sure they are clean and they are ready for school today. So we will make sure that they have all of their needs met so that they are ready to go to school for the day. Obviously, we want to make sure that Adriel's in tip-top shape because we will be following him to high school. And so we want to make sure all of his needs are in really good shape. I am just going to put a door in the bedroom here that leads into the kitchen. That way they don't have to walk all the way around. Let's go ahead and do that now. Okay, now that we have that door in place, everyone can kind of head through the kitchen as opposed to walking all the way around the house, which is going to be fantastic. So now we have more than one path through to the bedroom here for the kids, which is great. It's going to make things so much more easy now so that they don't have to go into the bathroom and disrupt people that are actually using the washroom, which is going to be saving out on people being embarrassed and things of that nature. So that's going to be very helpful. Everyone's just going ahead and getting themselves something to eat here, and they are making sure their needs are good, which is fantastic. I am just going to go ahead and get Adriel to come in and get himself a little bit to eat as well, because he does need to get something in his stomach. It is only 2 o'clock in the morning. They are all up super early. I think by the time school is over for the day, they're going to be straight shattered because they're up so early. But they got themselves well rested, and so they were just like, whatever, there's no point in just laying here staring at the ceiling. So up they got. So they're all just going to the washroom, going to take baths, and getting themselves something to eat. And they're just spending time with each other. They're really excited. They all really, really like school. They all have really good grades. And so they're talking about how they're really excited that it's, a school day again, and they get to go back and see their friends and learn things. Obviously, Adriel is feeling a little bit nervous. It is his first day, and he's feeling a little bit insecure right now because he's got some dry, itchy skin. And so he's thinking, great, this is all I need on my first day of school with high school. But other than that, I think he's feeling pretty good. He is a little bit nervous about going to a new school, knowing that he doesn't know anyone other than Evie. And to be completely honest, he doesn't know if he has any classes with Evie. He doesn't know if he's going to really be able to see her. And he's hoping that she's going to talk to him when he gets there because they met yesterday, but he doesn't know that that's the case. Like, he could get there and she could be embarrassed and not want to talk to him. Or, maybe she's in with a different crowd than he's going to be able to fit into. You know how high school is, and he doesn't really know how that's going to go down, and he's thinking, I would really like to be able to talk to her, but what if I don't fit in with her gang, and what if she doesn't want to talk to me, and then I don't have anyone to talk to, and I'm just like all by my lonesome at this new school with no one to talk to and no one to hang out with. And so, he is feeling a little bit nervous. He is. So he's talking to his mom about it, and he's like, I don't really know what to do. And she's like, you're going to be fine. Everything's going to be great. You've always made good friends. You make friends really easily. And they're just having a nice little laugh, and it looks like Haley picked up some comedy skill, which is great. But Adriel is, spending a little bit of time with his brother. They're watching a little bit of television together this morning before school. and they are just having a little bit of bonding. And obviously he's telling him about, when he was in grade school, and how, that was for him, because he excelled at grade school, and he's hoping that he's going to excel in high school, but the only thing that he can really do is give advice on grade school to his younger siblings. And he's like, I did really great there, and I can help them with that. I can give advice to them on that all day long. He's like, but this whole high school thing to me is like a whole new ball of wax. Like, I don't know how to approach that. I don't know what I'm supposed to do or how I'm supposed to feel. And so he's kind of feeling off kilter. He doesn't really know how he's supposed to approach it or what he's supposed to feel like. But I mean, part of him's excited, but part of him is really nervous. He's feeling pretty energized though overall, because it is a little bit exciting to go to a new place and to wonder, what are the people going to be like? And, what kind of new friends am I going to be able to meet? What are the teachers going to be like? And how are my classes going to be? And so he is, overall, he's feeling pretty excited about it. Is he nervous? Of course he's nervous, but I think to an extent he's kind of excited, because Adriel has always excelled at learning, and he loves learning, and so he is really, looking forward to going to school. So he is just going to spend a little bit of time on the computer here, and I am going to have Haley come out and do a little bit of gardening. And that way we can get the garden tended to here, because it is desperately needing it again. As we know, it definitely needs love. So we're just going to have her do a little bit of gardening here. And maybe I'll have Adriel come out and help. He can do a little bit of the weeding. So that will, obviously get his skill up as well. So he's going to help Haley with the garden a little bit. And, he can get his skill up in that before he has to head off to class. So we'll do that, and then when it's time for him to go ahead and go to class, then that'll be fine. It looks like Julian has the fear of being inferior. Oh my goodness. All right. So it does look like they'll be heading off to school in about an hour's time. And so then we'll be heading off with Julian to high school around that time, and we'll be seeing how he goes about his day. So let's go ahead and join him at school. Okay, so we have arrived here at Copperdale High, and as you can see, we are with Adriel. We do have some morning time that we have, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to let him meet some people while we have some morning break time, and he's just going to try to get to know some people in the school. We want him meeting as many people as he can, getting to know a couple of the students here. Hopefully we can find out if he is attracted to anyone. So we're going to have him meet some people and get to know some of his fellow students. Hopefully he'll see Evie and they can catch up. It looks like there's Evie there. So that's perfect that Evie is here at school with him, and he'll be able to catch up with her in a little bit. And so he is just going to go ahead and do some friendly introductions, get to know a couple of people, and we'll see if there's anyone that kind of strikes his fancy. Obviously, we know he is attracted to Evie, but maybe there's someone else that maybe he might, have a little bit of a better attraction to, or possibly a better relationship with as far as compatibility or something of that nature. So we are going to just have him meet several people and see how it goes. He does want to come over and at least say good morning to Evie and tell her hello, because he has seen her and he doesn't want to be rude, because he did tell her, like, if I see you at school, I'm obviously going to look you up. I'm going to say hi. And she's like, yeah, definitely. And so he's just being a man of his word. So he's come over and he said hi to her, and he's like, hey, Evie, like, how are you doing? And are you having a great day? And she's like, oh, hey, I'm so glad that, you're here, and I'm really glad you looked me up. And he's like, well, I told you I would. And she's like, yeah, but, like, how are you doing? Like, I know, being in a new school can be really nerve-wracking. And he's like, yeah, I'm doing okay. He's like, I'm just trying to get to know everything and everyone and kind of learning my way around the place. And she's like, yeah. And he's like, I've got free period this little bit of the first part of the morning. And then she's like, what's your first class? And he's like, oh, I'm pretty sure I have math class. And she's like, I think I might have math class too. So they might have their first class together, which is going to be great. So he is just trying to get to know some of these other students, and the bell has rung. It looks like he has bad compatibility with Rez. Okay, well, all right then. And Tala he perceives as basic looking. Okay, Tala. So he is just going to go ahead and start heading into class now, because it is time for us to go ahead and get ready for that. I'm not sure if this is science class or math class. It looks like it might be, I'm not sure if it's science or math, but he's in one of those classes. But he is just going to go ahead and pay attention in the class. And then once class is over, obviously he will have his, it's math class. Okay, great. So he's in math class. He's just paying attention in math class. And then once math class is over, they'll have their lunch break. And so he is just paying attention and learning as much as he can. Obviously, he wants to soak up as much information as he can in the day. And he's really focusing on what the teacher's saying because, as we know, Adriel is a very good student. He really, really takes his studies seriously. And so he's really paying attention. He's feeling really confident in this class. He's feeling like he is going to do really well in his studies. And he's also feeling really confident because he, went up to Evie and he said hello, and she actually was happy to see him. And he's like, this day's going great. Like, I didn't think it could go much more great than it's going. And so he's feeling really good. So it's time for us to go ahead and have our lunch period. He's just going to go ahead and kind of talk to these girls here and maybe get to know them a little bit better. And he is hoping that he can build up a little bit of a friendship with all of these people. And then we're going to go and we're going to let him grab a little bit to eat because it is lunchtime. I don't want him getting hungry for the second half of his day. So we're going to go ahead and let him order some lunch. And then maybe he can chat with Evie a little bit during the lunch period. So he does have 2 hours for lunchtime. So he is going to go ahead and eat something, chat with the group, and he needs to study for his exam. So maybe he'll find time to study for his exam as well. So Evie's come over and she's like hunted him down and she's having a little bit of a conversation with him, and he's like, oh my God, she came and found me. I didn't have to go and find her. And so he's thinking to himself, maybe she's into me. And of course he's getting really excited about that. He's feeling really, really confident. He's like, oh yeah, she likes me. And so he's feeling really good about it. He's thinking, maybe I should try flirting with her a little bit and see if maybe there's something there. And, he's going to go ahead and have his lunch. And then he's going to maybe start trying to flirt with Evie a little bit and see if there's something between them, because he didn't expect her to kind of hunt him down and come looking for him to kind of, strike up a conversation. But that's exactly what she did. Like, she hunted him down in his math class, and he's thinking, why would she do that if she weren't interested? And so he's going to go ahead and he's going to compliment her appearance, and he's going to do like a little bit of a bold pickup line. He's going to ask her if she's single, and he's just going to kind of feel around in those waters and see kind of where she stands and see if maybe she's keen on any of, his advances. He's not going to put it on too strong because obviously he's not trying to like embarrass her in front of her friends or anything like that. Obviously he's the new guy, and he doesn't want to make things awkward for her. But I mean, he's feeling it. Oh, and she was keen for that. She liked that. She was like, oh, he's still my beating heart. Oh, they've got a little bit of romance after that. Oh, okay, she really did like the flirting. So maybe they could have a little bit of a relationship. It looks like possibly there could be something between the two of them. I mean, she seems to really, really like him, and, she really liked flirting with him. It looks like he is going to go ahead and head off to the bathroom, and then he's going to go and head himself off to his next class. I do believe this is his science class that he's in now. Same teacher that he had for math class is now teaching the science class. And so he has science for the afternoon. It doesn't look like Evie's in any of his classes, but that has not stopped her from finding and hunting him down, or from them building a little bit of a romantic relationship. So it looks like the end of the day report was really, really good, and he had a really, really good day, and he's actually impressed his teachers, which is fantastic. We knew that he had it in him. Like I said, Adriel is a really good student. He's actually going now to look and see if he can find Evie. He was like, you know what, you hunted me down, and now I'm hunting you down. So he is come down here because he's wanting to find out if she's single. He is going to flirt with her a little bit. He's trying to see if his flirting with her is going to lead them anywhere. He is going to reveal to her that he has a little bit of a crush on her. And she's like, really? As you can see, she doesn't really know how to take that. She's like, oh, I think she's kind of okay with it. She is a little shocked, but I think she doesn't mind. And these two are obviously getting a little bit close. She's decided to give him a little bit of an embrace, and he's like doing some bold pickup lines. He is really putting it on thick, okay? And she is falling for it hook, line, and sinker. And he's like, I really wanted to let you know. She's like, I'm single. And he's like, well, I just need to let you know that I've got a little bit of a crush on you. And she's like, really? Okay. Well, I have to go. And he's like, where are you going? And she's like, I have to go home. School's over. It is over. It's like 5 p.m. Like, he probably should go home too, if we're being honest. The teacher's just sitting here watching them flirt with each other, which is actually pretty funny. So I'm going to go ahead and send him on home. But it says here, wowie, he has a huge crush on Evie. So he is quite smitten with her, and he's really feeling her. He really, really is. So I'm thinking that maybe we'll try to pursue Evie and see if they can possibly end up in a little bit of a relationship. But let's see you back at the house. So we have arrived back at the house, and obviously we have had a pretty fantastic day. But I am going to go ahead and leave this episode here. I will see you guys in our next episode, where we will be seeing Adriel hopefully go ahead and move his relationship on with Evie. But until next time, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you are notified when new episodes go live on the channel. And I will see you guys then. And until next time, I'm going to go ahead and fly for now. Bye, Ravens.